Hey, what's up? What's up, YouTube? It's King Geo in the house. What's up? Uh, how you doing, guys? How you doing, guys and girls? Don't forget, King Geo's in the house. Okay, let me see something. All right. So, how you guys doing today? Hope you guys are doing great. Well, the topic of the show today is going to be media. Is the media fair? Um, let's get some people on so we can do this. And this lag is horrible. I can see it on the screen. Mind you, I have Spectrum. Don't get Spectrum, guys. So what's up? We're live, guys and girls, for my sweepstakes on February the 14th. If you're a female and you're new to my channel, subscribe. Put down I subscribe, King Geo. Put your Twitter account, your Instagram account, or your Facebook profile, so I can check and make sure that you're a female. I'm giving away $100 February 14th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be broadcast live. Please have Cash App, because that's the way I'm going to go. I was going to go with other platforms too, but I'm going to go with Cash App. So if you have Cash App, no matter where in the world you are, and you win, you're going to get the money. Now, let's talk about media. Is the media fair? Is some of you might say, "Oh, this is fake media." What do you consider fake media? What do you consider the media to be fair? What do you say? What do you consider the media not to be fair? You have medias like, I'll give you an example. You have ANC, you have Fox, you have RNC. Those are medias that just leans towards one side, right? That no matter what the other side does, they don't look at that. They just they wouldn't even take a piece of that. I'll give you an example. Fox News, even though Fox was bought by Rupert Murdoch, but I remember when Fox News reported from both sides. I remember when Fox News was one of my favorite channels to watch the news, but it has become so one-sided that it's incredible. I'm from New York. I used to enjoy watching. I'm not watching. I used to enjoy reading the New York Post. I was New York Newsday, New York Post. A lot of times I read the New York Times too, but um, I'm reading as I gotten older. I read the New York Post, and lately the New York Post is so one sided. It's so right wing that it's kind of hard to actually read it and give it a fair value and give it a fair opinion, because you can't. Because when your opinion just goes towards one side, that's ridiculous. I can give you an opinion on my side because that's my opinion. You can give me your opinion because it's your side, because that's your opinion. But when you're talking about the media, you have to be fair to both parties. So, or to both sides. Like I said, is the media fair? To an extent they are, and to another extent they're not. I'll give you an example. Another example. When a young black man gets killed, or young black, okay, they arrest a black person. They say the police just arrested a 22-year-old black man. Why can't they just say the police arrested a person, or the police arrested a black? The police arrested a young man. Why do they have to always put that he was black? Why? People see that. People who are already racist sees that and says, you know what? You see these black people, or you see these Hispanic people, or you see black for man, or you see these Asian people, you see the Arabs people. That's what they do. They come to this country to destroy it, because the media, instead of putting this person was just arrested, they have to put the color of the skin of that person, and that's how things get twisted. And you have people that don't know how to think right. They just think like this. They got no blind. They got their blinders, and their blinders are this way. They can't look from the side. They don't do anything. Hey, what's up, US Network? What's up, peace? Just like now, I just read, what was it, like 3 hours ago, a news clipping on Facebook where it says a participant, someone died after getting the vaccine. All right, but then they put down but we don't know if that was because the vaccine was the cause of it. See that right there, you're already scaring a population that's already scared. A population, a nation that most of it, what is it, 56% of the people don't want to get vaccinated. 56%, that's not the country, don't want to get vaccinated because of the media doing these things. You can't you just say someone just died? You have to say someone died while they were taking while they were getting inoculated. Yes, new wave media. I mean, new independent media is good, and I love that independent media is coming out. You know, and it is true. But when I was growing up, this wasn't. When I was growing up, it was more like whoever got the best news. That's it. Yes, we all, you see, we all blanks. We all have our own prejudice. We all do. That's true. But what I'm getting at is that we already have a nation that's full of hatred. And when you put down in the newspaper, a black person just got arrested because they stole this, or a Hispanic person just got arrested because they stole, or matter of fact, or an undocumented male from Guatemala, Mexico, whatever the case may be, just raped a woman. That person who's already a racist is going to read that paper and say, ah, these damn immigrants. These immigrants, they come to this country and that's all they do is do is do is do is do is. So you're putting more hate to that person. Not the person. Not only does this person hates immigrants, now they're gonna hate immigrants even more. And when that person sees an illegal, like, oh, you little this, you little that, or you look at this black person, oh, you guys know how to do. Because the first thing that comes, and I can tell you because I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen white people tell black people, all you black fuckers in the street language, that's what they say, all you black fuckers, all you know how to do is go on welfare. From a white person. And this white person doesn't, unconsciously doesn't know that more white people are on welfare than there are blacks or Hispanics. Well, blanks, I don't know how that goes. I don't know how that goes in the Caribbean. I'm from Puerto Rico. I've never seen in Puerto Rico a white Puerto Rican say to a dark skinned Puerto Rican, oh, look, you're this because of the color of your skin. I've never seen it. It has happened, probably it has, but I've never seen it, so I cannot say that. I've seen how in the how Dominican Republic shares their island with Haiti, and how when the Haitian people come to Dominican Republic and they start working there, they get discriminated. I've seen Dominicans discriminate against Venezuela when Venezuelans go to Dominican Republic to work, and stuff like that. Or when they go to from Venezuela, they go to Honduras, or they go to to Bolivia to work. Venezuela is Maduro has that place so fucked up that it's kind of hard. So they leave their country to go to another country so they can work. So, and by the way, Leon Spinks died yesterday, so condolences to his family. So it's kind of hard. So the best thing to do is that it's like this. All of us will make a media group, and we'll have our own ideas. We agree to disagree, and that's what makes it great. We agree to disagree, right? We're not going to agree on the same thing because that'd be stupid. But we can come to an agreement in some things. We come to some disagreement in other things. But at the end of the day, we're cool. We're cool people. We're cool with each other. We respect each other. But nowadays, that's not happening. Nowadays, because you're a Democrat, you're a Republican, you can't hang. You hang out with a Democrat. If you're a Democrat, you won't hang out with a Republican. If you're a Baptist, you won't hang out. It's getting to a point that's getting stupid. Back to the media, Gio. You were eating all of it up a couple of months ago. What happened? How you mean that I was eating it all up? I explained that. Explain that analogy to me. How was I meeting up all the media? I would like to know. Please indulge me with that. because I'm a fair person. I mean, to me, it doesn't bother me. I mean, it doesn't bother me whether you're Republican or you're a Democrat, whether you're a Jew or Muslim or verbatim. Oh man, this internet is horrible. Hold on a minute, guys. My wife is probably finding what to do. Hold on, my internet's slow. Jesus. Okay, there we go. So you say verbatim? How? I am keeping it real. How real can I keep it? I can listen to your side. I can agree to agree or disagree to disagree. But I always keep it real. I don't fake anything out. Nor do I blur or do I blur anything out. I'm as real as it's gonna get. I'm not gonna stoop up or lower myself down or lower my values for somebody else. That will never happen with me. I'm too old to be, hey, Gio, blah, blah. And I'm too old for that. That's like saying you heard what Marjorie Taylor Greene said yesterday, that the party belongs to Donald Trump. That the party belongs to Donald Trump. Now the whole Republican Party belongs to Donald Trump. So she's idolizing one man, making the party his. To be honest with you, you want to see how, if you really wanted to see how Republicans really feel about Donald Trump on this impeachment trial, if the Democrats would have gone up and said, you know what, we're going to do this impeachment, and for you guys to vote, when you men and women vote, let's make it a private vote. No one's going to know who voted who are. You just vote, don't put your name on it, and vote. Impeach or not impeach. And I guarantee you, on a private vote, they would impeach Donald Trump. The Republican Party. Republican parties don't. How can you, as a Republican 4 years ago, say that Donald Trump was no good, that Donald Trump is a piece of crap, that Donald Trump, it's not good for the country, and then 4 years later say it's the best thing that ever happened? You just can't. That's not being a man. Why? Because you are in a party, whether it was Republican or Democrat, because you're in a party and you want to look cool, you don't want to lose your seat in Senate. It's just a seat. For Pete's sake, you already have a job. You're already a lawyer, a doctor, whatever the case may be. How am I? How am I in line with the way with the way the media wants me to think? Because I think differently than the media does. I see. That's the whole thing. I do my research before I even express. Before I even express myself or even say the same talking points, but it's not the same talking points. It's just, okay. Give me something that I've said that the media has said. Come on, Blackson, man. Because from what I know of, I've always been up front. Tell me what I've done with the media that because you're talking politics not good and evil, Mr. Christian. I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about reality. You want to talk about reality? So let's talk about reality. Let's talk about the thousands and millions of people who are homeless in the United States. Let's talk about the hundreds of thousands of kids who get kidnapped every year, who are missing, who are put into sex slaves, who get sent to other countries. Let's talk about how women are being abused by their spouse, and nothing gets done, if anything. Mr. Christian. You know, that's funny because the other day I was reading something, and anyone can say they're a Christian. Anyone can say they're Christian, but no one can say that you're a God-fearing man. There's two different things. The same talking points again, Gio. You funny. How could it be the same talking points? So, okay, let me indulge your brain. What would you like to talk about that I have yet to touch? Let's go there. Tell me something that you would like to hear from me. That's not political. That's not religious. Give me propaganda, but propaganda for who? But I rarely talk about homeless. But you know why I rarely talk about homeless? Because that's something that most people don't know anything about. You hear in the street. I was homeless, and I can tell you how it is to live in the street. So that's not propaganda. I can tell you why not most, but why some people don't like going. I mean, why there's so many homelessness in the streets. I can tell you why people don't like going to shelters. I can tell you why people don't want to get on an apartment. Why some people choose to become homeless. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about raising. Okay, how do we raise these young boys to be men? Okay, you know what's going on in today's age is that you have these young boys, and that's the one thing it is, these young boys having kids, and they're young themselves, and they haven't even been able to live life, and they're getting women pregnant. So when you got an 18 or 19 or 20-year-old who's a father, who barely is coming out of puberty, is becoming a father, how is that person supposed to teach his son how to be a man? How do we do that? When I've seen most men, when they talk to their kids, boys, men don't cry. Men don't do this. Men don't do that. Are you a father, Blanks? I'm going to put the topic up for Monday. Let's do that Monday. We can talk it now, but Monday, let's do that. How do we raise boys to be men? Because it's true. We have a whole entire country full of young men, young boys are going to become adults, and not just here, but I cannot say in other countries because we don't know how it is. But here in the United States, it's here in the United States, from the young boys to take your kids for being young boys and to men. It's really hard because you're competing with society. The only real way is for a man to be head of his household, Gio. Yes, that's true. But how many men do you know are responsible for their own household? How many men do you know gets a girl pregnant, gets a job, and says, you know what? I got her pregnant. Let me take my responsibility. Gets a job, and even if he's with the female or not, gets a job and supports his son or his child. forgets all of his friends, and forgets his child, and provides for his child, and is there for his child, regardless whether the female is there or not. Not too many. You're having boys, you're having 16, 17-year-olds having babies. They think it's fun. They think it's great. I'm going to have a baby. Oh, wow. Look how cute this baby is. I'm going to buy him Nikes. I'm going to buy him this. I'm going to buy him that. And then when that child becomes older, they forget about that little baby because there's no more baby anymore. So how do you make a young man household? Head of household. Because I can tell you, this is one of the reasons that I never became a loot of kids. I don't have 10, 20 kids because I know for a fact as a young man, I was not able to provide for me. If I'm unable to provide for me, how can I provide for another child? Okay, so you need to stress marriage. So you believe that if a person is married, okay, you have a family, but you think that that's going to hold a man to be head of household? Because a lot of women don't want to be married. A lot of men don't want to be married. But I'm a firm believer in marriage. I really am. And that makes it even better when two parents are in it, because there are certain things a man can teach to his child that a woman can't teach, and there are certain things a woman can teach that a man cannot teach. So you need both parents. But when you have a strong marriage and you have a strong husband that's next to you, and like you said, he's head of the household, you're going to have that child is going to grow up to be a responsible. One would hope. That's the idea, that this young man or woman becomes a responsible adult. That's what we hope, right? And if you got a good woman and she's with you to the end, to thick and thin, and she's your ride or die, then you're gonna have great things. But you can raise your kid the best of your ability, but then a lot of things with that child growing up intertwines with their life, and changes go, and no matter how good you try to raise them, some of them turn bad. You don't want that. I can see that. They're going to reflect on their father 9 out of 10 times, maybe a little bit less than that. But yeah, because you have a figure. You see, most of us men, this is what I've learned. When I became a father, I was not just only a father. I was a father. I was a doctor. I was a friend. I was a psychiatrist. I was a plumber. I was the electrician. I was the computer guy, the fixer guy. I was the pillow. You become all these things, right? So your child is going to emulate you, because you're showing out that this is what a man does. A man becomes responsible. A man takes care of his kids. A man takes care of his household. A man makes sure that there's food on the table. A man makes sure that the kids do this. A man makes sure that as you growing up as a little kid, you start developing values, that you don't grow up like they do nowadays, that, oh, I have to have an iPhone XX. I have to have an iPhone XX. I have to have the latest technology there is in the world. And Dad, you're going to get it for me because you're the one that's working. No, that's not the way it works. I raise you to be independent. The same way that I bust my ass to make sure that you're fed, to make sure that you have a roof over your head, to make sure that you have food on the table. It's the same way that you're going to go out there, you're going to work, and you're going to buy your own stuff. That's what making a man, that's what turning boys into men is. But most people don't do that nowadays. If you see a parent nowadays, this is what they do. The kids is crying, give them a cell phone. The kids is doing this, give them a cell phone or give them a tablet. And what does that do? It infuses the kid's brain. They have to have this. Without this, they cannot function. Not in my days. In my days, that wasn't like that. We played baseball. We played football. We had something to it. The streets of the Bronx were not the best of times, but we got ourselves entertained by hanging out with good friends, by hanging out with good people, by hanging out with people that you knew that was not going to get in trouble. And if we did get in trouble in the streets, it wasn't for something big. You know, the worst we ever did was throw rocks, from one building to another. That's the worst thing that we ever did. But we never did malice to anybody. But that's the way society is. So when you grow up, you have a family, you have the woman here, but there's no father. And you have to have, if you want your child, and I've always said this, if you want your child to grow up, it needs a father. It needs a father. So a woman before you open up to a man and you want to give this man a child, and you got to think about, if this person has a child and this man never sees his child, never takes care of his child, what makes you think that he's going to be a good father to your child? Those are the things that we got to think. That's why I've never, like I said, that's why I don't have a harem of kids, because those are the things that I thought about. Am I going to be a good father? If I can't provide for me, I can't provide for this child. Then why would I put this woman into 9 months of labor and an eternity of raising this child if I'm not going to be in the child's life? It's not good for her. It's not good for the child, and it wouldn't be good for me. Just because I want to get a piece of ass. Excuse the language, but that's the way it is. Is it fair? No. So why even bother? When I felt comfortable that I wanted to be a father, when I felt comfortable that I met the right person, I had my first daughter. And then after I met my first baby's mother, I didn't have another kid until she was born in 94. 7 years later, I had my second daughter when I was 28 years old, and I haven't had kids ever since. I got my two stepchildren. Those are my boys that I never had, because I would have girls, but those are the boys that I never had. And them, I raised them, and I teach them things that my father never taught me. I teach my kids so that when they do go out in the world, they become responsible adults. They're already adults, but they become responsible adults, that they know how to treat a woman, that they know. I told my oldest son, you get a girl pregnant. He works now, but you get a girl pregnant, you have to provide. I don't care what you do. You're not gonna leave a girl with a belly and then say, yo, that's not my child, or I'm not gonna mess with her. She's all crazy. No. That doesn't work with me. You have to be, no matter how bad, no matter how things are with the baby's mother, you have to be in your son's or daughter's life. You have to be. Because it's very, very essential that you're in that person's life, because the development that child's going to go through, the psychological development, the trauma that child will go through. My dad's not here. My dad don't love me. What did I do? I can tell you because I've been there. Well, I advocate marriage before sex. I've always have. But how many times am I going to sit here or not say to these kids, you should get married before you have sex. You should learn to do this before you have sex. You should learn to do this before. You can tell that to your kids all you want, but they're not going to listen. We live in a society that's not the way it is now, unfortunately. And this has nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do with religion. This is the proper thing to do. You meet a girl, you fall in love with this girl, you get married, and you have incoherently an amount of sex, and you have kids. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it should be. But they don't think like that. This is not that kind of generation. A woman thinks like that. Most women think like that. But a man doesn't. So we have to take that mentality of the boys and change it to, you know what? That before you have sex with your girlfriend, you should get married. Meet the girl, have fun with her, learn her likes and dislike, and and boom, you get married. When you get married, you have kids, you have a family. That's the way it should be. No, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up on my kids. No, you have to understand one thing. I can tell my kids marriage. They know it. I can tell my kids, but I know my kids know this, and this is a fact. I told my kids, except for my oldest one, before you even do anything, I want you to do it. Before you even have sex, I want it to be when you're married. You see, that's where you're wrong. You're always in a position to help them avoid. That's where you're wrong, because you can try, but once your kid makes up that mind, that's it. All kids are not the same. I'm sorry to tell you that. We're not always in a position, because you could be at work and your kids, if your daughter's going to do something, she's going to do it. If your son's going to do it, he's going to do it. Some kids like, I'm not going to do it because my dad doesn't want me to. My dad's taught me values. But for the majority part, I don't know where you come from, but from the majority part, kids will not listen. Where I come from, that's not the way it works. Yes, my mother taught us about marriage. My mother taught about this, but that's not the way it works. Unfortunately, that's not the way it is. That's the way you want it. That's the way I want it, but that's not it. Once these kids hit a certain age, you can't tell me what to do. You can raise them as best that you can, but you can't tell me what to do. I'm the man. I can do what I want. I'm a woman. I can do what I want. I just turned 18 years old. I try to put myself in a position to tell my kids not to avoid the same mistakes that I made. But you have to understand too. You have to let your kids to make their own mistakes, because through mistakes that's how they learn. Okay, that's how you grow. If you make no mistakes, you're not growing. You have to make mistakes so you can grow as an individual. If you make a mistake now, you got to make sure that you're not going to make that same mistake again. So why? So you learn from that mistake, you move forward, and you grow. And you teach that to your kids. But sometimes kids are hard-headed. No, it's not that. Let me ask you a question. Are you a father, Blank? So are you a father? Have your kids come out great? Because if you ask society in itself, kids nowadays the way the laws are, the way society has them. I don't give up. It's sad of what society is going into today, but I don't give up on kids, because there's hope. There is hope. But what I'm trying to tell you is that you can only go so far. You can only do so much for your kids. At the end of the day, they're going to grow, they're going to move out, and they're going to do their own lives. And you want to hope that what you've taught them, they take that with them. Some kids do, some kids don't. How many kids do you know that are 17, 18, 19 years old, and right now their girlfriends are pregnant, and their girlfriends are maybe 15, 16 years old? How do you know? How many do you know? I know a lot. I've seen a lot. And how many of those kids do you expect for their kids to be responsible adults when their parents are only 17 or 16 years old or 18 years old, and they don't even know what responsibility is? They're just starting to learn about life. Like I said, I didn't have my first daughter until I was 22 years old, and because I knew what I can bring, and I knew what I couldn't bring. I'm not going to bring a child into this world to suffer. I made a lot of mistakes the first time, and mistakes that were through no fault of my own. But and I my first daughter, I didn't get to see my first daughter the last time I saw my first. No, not the last time. When she was born, we spent time together for the first 2 years, and then after that, I didn't get to see my daughter again. She was 18 years old. And like I said, that was no fault of my own. And my second daughter, I raised her. I raised her on my own because the mother left when she was 10 months old to go with another guy. And I raised my daughter to the best of my ability. Everything that you said that I could do, I did. As a father, as a single father, until I met my wife, my current wife. So society is hard, and I mean, not society, life is hard, and you have to, when you're raising a kid, you have to have two good parents. You have to have a strong marriage. I agree with you. You have to have foundation. Because once you have a family, it's no longer just you and your wife. Now it's you, your wife, and not everything is the center of the nucleus of the family is the kids. Now you have to work to provide for them. Make sure that they have food. Make sure they have this. Make sure that they don't, like you said, make sure that they don't make the same mistakes you did, and they don't go through the hardship that you went through. They're gonna go through hardship, but not as bad as you went through, or not as bad as your parents went through, or not as bad as your parents went through. You don't want that for your kids. You want your kids to enjoy life. You want them to be responsible. You want them to be loving. You want them to be caring. You want them to have fun in life, but to have responsible fun. You have to. How many times? You know how many times I've gone out there and I've given a speech on HIV, AIDS in the young community, in the community of Black and Hispanics. You would think that this would open up their eyes, but no, it does not. You aware that right now, as we speak, the rate of infection of HIV and AIDS, it's high among Black and Hispanics from the ages of 14 to the age of 25. Kids are having more sex now than they were before. And the reason why is you say this, you say to yourself, why are they doing this? It's because they don't see AIDS as we did 30 years ago. They didn't see the face of AIDS. So right now, you take someone and say, this is AIDS. Look, this person have AIDS. This person is good. He's good looking. She's good looking. They're healthy. They take their medication and blah, blah, blah. So they think to themselves, that's nothing. But if you show them a picture or a video on how AIDS was 30 years ago, and you show them the raw deal, then things may change. And that's how you got to do it. You want to raise men to be, you want to raise boys to be men. It starts with and make sure that both of you have a say in the child's life, and you're raising that boy to the best of your ability. No arguing with the mama. Don't be talking bad about the mother. Don't be doing, and the mother doing the same thing. Don't be talking bad about the father. Don't be doing about the father whether you hate him or you don't hate him. Trust me, I was a single father, and I raised my daughter to the best of my ability. I'm raising my children to the best of my ability, and I try. And I try to be strong, and I tell them, don't do anything before marriage. Marriage is a sacred thing. A woman is a sacred thing. Woman is the best thing that a man can ever have, because any successful man you see has a woman beside him. So how do we do that? How do we focus on raising boys to be men? As a society, how do we do that? Because like I said before, young kids are having kids. They're kids raising up kids. Instead of going out there enjoying life, enjoy what is given to you, they choose to, oh, I want to get laid, I want to do this, I want to do that. And when they get the girl pregnant, what happens? You teach them, hey, marriage is the best way to go. Marriage, the institute of marriage is very sacred to me. I believe in marriage. But we're in an age that's not happening. My parents have been married for 40 years. My aunt has been married with my uncle for 70 years. No, 60. I'm sorry, 60. Those were in the days when marriage meant something, that there were values. You have to get married. If you want to have a family, you have to get married. You have to do this, you have to do that. But the institution of marriage nowadays has gone down the drain. Divorce rates are high. Because why? Because they want to, that's another thing. They want to jump into marriage real quickly. And when they do that, they're making a mistake of not getting to know that person. And then if you don't know that person and you marry that person and then you beat them today and 6 months later you're married, that's not going to work. I want to go for Kansas City. I mean, Tampa Bay is cool because of what Tom Brady is doing. That he's going from New England, and in his first year in a new team, he's taking them to the Super Bowl. So that's a great, like you say, Cinderella story, so to speak. But Kansas City to me is too much of a team. Who you got? So you changed the subject on me. That's pretty cool. Sneaky, but cool. Over the GOAT? So you got so you're going for Kansas City? Or you're going for Tampa Bay? Or the hometown boys? All right. I don't know, man. You want to bet? You want to bet? You want to bet? You want to bet? Let's see. Want to bet $20? I go for no spread. I vote for Kansas City, whatever they win, and you bet for Tampa. Being that you go for the hometown team. Yeah, I'm grilling up tomorrow. But look at this way. I gotta grill it up tomorrow because tomorrow I work today from 11 to 7. Going to work at 11, come out at 7. Trying to get some shut eye to be back at work at 3 to 11. So I'll be watching the game at the job. But I can go live at the job too. So it all depends. Now, I can't grill because you know what? But I could grill. I have a grill here. But I'd be working. And even if I wasn't working, I just moved to this town like a year ago. Actually, a year ago, a few days ago. And I got no friends to bring over and say, yo, what's up? Let's go watch the game at my house and blah, 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 blah. I could put the TV outside, Don't have to worry about COVID. Just put the TV outside. Have a big backyard. Put a TV there, run a cable. Whoop. But I got no one to watch it with. My kids don't like sports. My youngest does. I mean, my oldest does, but my daughter doesn't watch sport. My youngest son doesn't watch sport. My wife don't watch sport. My dog, I don't even think my dog likes to watch sport because all she does is just eats and bites everything she finds. She's like a vacuum cleaner. She be finding some stuff. You're like, what the hell did you find? I just swept the floor. How do you find that there? All right, buddy. You take care. Yo, we're gonna do that Monday, man. We should talk about that more often, man. Monday that I'm off, I'm gonna go live and we'll talk about that. Hopefully you can call in and we'll talk about how we can, and hopefully girls can get into this too, because I want females to look at this channel, and I want to say that what we're gonna talk again Monday, it pertains to them too, because we have to learn, girls have to learn to choose their man wisely. Just because cute, funny, that doesn't cut it. All right, buddy. So bless up, man. God bless you too, man. Your family. You see me live tomorrow, if not Monday. Let's go. I gotta go for Kansas City. I'm a Jets fan, so it doesn't matter to me who goes. But I'm a Jets fan, so my team in there anyway. It's all right. So peace, bro. I hope you enjoy your day. And everybody who's watching, don't forget that King Geo does support now Super Chat, so you can donate to the Super Chat or you can donate to my Cash App, which will be this right here. If you would like. That is my Cash App. Soon I'll be doing merch like this, but without the YouTube right here. Just King Geo, whatever color you want. I have change. I want to get some change too. I got some sneakers there that I might do them. I'm not sure yet. It depends how the design comes out. You guys gotta let me know how you feel about that. Well, here we are to my live. So I hope you guys enjoyed this live, man. So let's go. Let's do this like Brutus, like we never knew this.